pelican with some very soft mangoes. A closet full of skeletons and terry cloth kangos.
Hey guys, it's Mango Kango here, and holy flippin' wow. I don't, obviously, it wouldn't be right to start this video off by swearing, but holy shit. Like, we got one of the craziest updates that I have ever seen in this game in a extremely long time, I feel like. Or maybe there has been one like this before, but never this related to building. Now obviously, behind me, we have the Halloween update, and as much as the Halloween update is like great and good coverage, I'm going to be going over that in a separate video. I think my community, as far as like their interest goes, I'm going to fulfill the building side of things first, and that's what I want to cover in today's video. So obviously the next video will be all about this spooky season, Halloween, trick-or-treating, what's inside the tent type stuff, but right now I simply want to see what all the new stuff is when it comes to building, because there's a lot of it. Alright, so we got a major house customization revamp. Yeah. I don't know if that's I think that's just going over like all the things here. So you can now change your walls, floors, and ceilings to any texture you like. What does this mean? Well, let's get close and find out. So I already tested this a little bit, so this isn't my like crazily first reaction to things. Some of them will be, some of them won't, because I kind of hopped on here right away because my mind was like going through it, you know. But we have an edit thing here. We'll get into that in a second. Let's just get inside first. So the ceilings, walls, and floors, what can we do with that? Well, if we press on edit here, you're gonna have your toolbar here. I might have to go over in a new video on how to like work with objects, because obviously this is all gonna be different now. But first we're gonna start out with our floor, ceiling, and wall, which is going to be this little floor wrap icon here. Then we have ceiling, floor, and wall for our selections. Obviously ceiling is new, in case you didn't know, and then floor and wall are something we have had for quite a bit of time. But if we click on floor and we look at our floors, we have all the floor options now. And I think Dude 1 by default unlocked all the floors for us, so if there's anything limited that you had, unfortunately I don't think it's very limited anymore. But when you click on it, it changes the ground. However, an extremely new tool is that it looks like you're able to enter an ID. I'm not sure what that means. We could have completely new floors. I'd have to test that in a second because I actually didn't see this before. But you can also click on the wrench, which is going to be your ultimate editing tool, which kind of gives you all the exclusives of every item. And you can change the width, the length, and the transparency, which is pretty wild here. Let's make it 0. And we can change the color on an entirely colorable color wheel, which means you can have any hex code, which you can enter the value of right here if you want to make sure that your colors stay consistent. And if you don't know what a hex code is, then I'd be willing to go over that in a different video as well. But basically you have a completely free range of colors, which is nuts. So if we wanted this to look a little bit more wood-like, you can always go to our browns here. Okay, well that doesn't look brown. But for these floors, the colors aren't going to be exact because it takes the shading and hues of those colors individually. So like for example, if I go to the neon, sorry, not the neon, if I go to this blue floor, this one will be more specific. I thought it would. Okay, it looks like some floors have a little bit, aren't like exact, which is fine, you know. That one looks a little bit more brown. If I go to green, it's a little green. This one seems to be more accurate. They're not all going to be perfect, guys. Yeah, it looks like some of them are having, you know, struggles with the whole coloring thing. That's kind of to be expected here. So, you know, it is what it is. Oh, that looks really weird. Do we not have the normal marble flooring anymore? Oh, we do. Okay. Got a little worried there, guys. I'm surprised that this isn't working as well as it should. Okay, the color thing is a little buggy. But like I said before, if we go to our walls here, and let's choose this one again, you can change the length, which, you know, makes it go lengthwise, and you can change the width. And the width can be very big, and you can go pretty wild with how you want everything to look. can even have those bricks showing through a little bit. There's just so much customization, and it's pretty wild, if I'm gonna be honest with you. And of course we have our ceiling as well, which seems to be working just fine. Whoa, it's almost like it's upside down. Okay, so I have my own wood ID. I do want to try this real quick, because in the wall section there was an ID enter area, so I'm gonna enter in an ID here. Can I put that on? What? Dude. Oh, wow. I mean, obviously this is like super simple because you can't go sectional with this, so if you really wanted a realistic house, you'd have to use decals throughout. But it's really cool that if someone wanted something to look a little bit more simple, you have the option to just make the whole of your house a texture that of your choosing. Alright, up next we have, you can now disable the snapping grid and place things exactly where you want it. This is also this is nuts. What am I talking about? This is crazy. So, for example, let's take something that we know for sure has always been stuck in gridlock, right? Well, okay, well how about, you know, this tree? Well, it snaps, right? This is good for lining stuff up specifically, but if you didn't want this to be the case, you can now hit G and the grid snap is off, which means you have a completely free range of where you want this to go. You can even embed it in the wall a little bit. This is crazy, which means now stuff can really get where you want it to be, and it is just absolutely wild to see this happen. That's crazy, dude. And then if you want to delete stuff, it's just it's this now, the garbage can, not the X. I had made this mistake so many times to the point where I thought, oh my gosh, I can't delete anything because I'd click this and it wouldn't work. No, you gotta use the garbage bin, which I guess makes sense as well. This is just to exit the hotbar that you have down here. Okay, and now since these things are not gridlocked anymore, that gives you the option to hit the T, which is to tilt, which is insane to see this thing upside down. This thing has never been upside down in its entire life unless you were using exploits and stuff. And I think one of the most definitive things to see upside down that is mind-boggling is the staircase here. You can now put it upside down. This is really strange. I wonder if I put gridlock. Oh, okay, so if gridlock goes back on, the object rotates itself back, which is, you know, kind of to be expected, which might make lining this stuff up to the exact grid a little bit harder than it has to be. It would be nice to see a one stud gridlock snap that stays in place for the items that you already have rotated that are off the grid. That is a very confusing thing that most people might not understand why I want that, but I do. But this seems to be working pretty damn well. Look at that. That's so weird. The paint bucket can now paint any color with the new color wheel. This is also extremely wild. So if I place this here, right, and I want my paint bucket, this is what the paint bucket looks like now. It is a lot cleaner and there's not a lot of stuff in your way. The UI is completely different. Now I'm going to turn my textures off because that's a huge deal and I need to go over that separately. But right now you have the default colors, so you can still color match. You have the eyedropper tool, and this works if you've ever used Illustrator before. So if I click on to have my color wheel on, it's going to have my color wheel here, which gives you all the hex codes and stuff. And if I have this very specific color that you're not able to get right now, like this, and you press check, and now it's selected to your brush. So that, as you can tell, this color is not in the game. And let's say I click this and I click this. Now I don't have that color saved anymore. Well, what you can do is use the eyedropper tool and suck it up, and now it's on your brush, which means you can use it on other stuff. And you might be thinking, well, what the heck just happened to your seats here? They're wood now. And yeah, that's because this was wood, and I guess the eyedropper tool also carries materials with it, and I didn't know that till now. That's crazy. Whoa, whoa, that's cool. Okay, sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I'm just gonna go over everything here then in this UI. So we have the paint bucket fill mode. I think this completely fills the entire object with all that. Whoa. Oh my gosh, some of these houses are gonna look so real, dude. I'm telling you, this is gonna be crazy. What? Dude, the hyper-realism, I can already see it happening. So yeah, basically, the paintbrush paints. You can go to the color wheel, select that on. If you go to the colors, then you have this. If you select it off, then you have this. If you want to paint the whole thing, you do the fill tool. And if you want to suck up a color and its textures to replicate something you have somewhere else, you use the eyedropper tool on the side. And to exit, you simply click exit. Very, very sick. The color wheel supports hex values, and you can share colors or import colors from color palette generator websites. Yeah, so what he means by this is there's like an Adobe thing, I'm pretty sure, which you know, if you know what Adobe Photoshop is, there's also Adobe Colors, and you can it generates colors sets that match each other or that are in relation to like tricolors and stuff like that. So those colors, hex values, they all have hex values, and you can import those hex values to your table set and basically make something that you kind of can guarantee at least has some form of connection color wise, right? So that it kind of all goes together in a way, which is insane and great. I don't know if you can save multiple colors to the HUD. I'll have to see how that works, but at least you can import your hex values, which is very, very cool. And again, some of this stuff I can go over in future videos if anyone has questions on some of this stuff, because it can be a little confusing if you don't already play with stuff like this. You can now change the material of furniture. I just went over that. That is crazy. As you could see, you could completely change how some of these objects look, and I'm sure there's much more that you're going to be able to change, like that can really make things pop in the future. I am very excited for that. New placement system for smaller items that is much less annoying to use. Okay, so if you turn grid locked on, new placement system, does it feel different? A little bit. It seems to be snapping a lot easier. Oh, you know what it is? It doesn't interfere with my flippin' avatar. So this thing actually just goes down. Look at that. Boom. Boom. And it highlights green when you place it. And you can just delete it. Dude, it's smooth. That's clean. This is what I've been waiting for. Just a clean building. This is nice. Okay. Lots of new materials added along with the new visual-based material picker. Okay, so what he means by this is a lot of the Roblox had an update where like they added a bunch of new materials. Some of them are hyper-realistic, some of them not so much. It seems like he incorporated some of those for sure into the new paintbrush area. So yeah, we just got a lot more new materials, a lot more options basically. So it's very, very cool. New mobile furniture dragger that allows you to place furniture on mobile much more accurately. I'm not on mobile, but hey, for all you guys on mobile, sounds like you guys got it pretty easy now. Maybe. Hopefully this does work though, because I know a lot of you guys play on mobile. You can modify the color, transparency, and size of your walls. I did go over that when I went over the walls. That's pretty cool, man. Very, very cool. It would be cool to see some glass objects get added to the game. I think like glass windows that are just purely transparent would be like very, very sick addition to the game. But fast placement. You can now continuously place items in your house without having to select the item again in your inventory. Okay. I think it was like that a little bit sometimes. I could be tripping, but like, okay, so if I place this, oh, I see, it's just there, so I can just keep going like this. Yeah, okay, that's cool. What would be cool is if I could organize my inventory though when I drag these slots, because everything is scattered everywhere. I want my stuff that I use more commonly to be up here. Rotation is saved during placement so that you don't need to re-rotate. Okay, so what he means by this is, let's say your clock is facing this way, right? And you place it. Well, it stays that way. Huh? Oh! Whoa! It just took my money! It just took my money! I didn't give consent to that. I didn't know it was gonna do that. Hey, wait, what? Oh, okay. Well, I didn't. Okay, so new thing. too, just so people don't freak out about this like I did. If you place this, and you go like this, and you didn't actually want this, make sure you delete it before you like exit this thing, because that way you get your money back, man. That freaked me out a little bit. So if you already have the item, it doesn't charge you. If you don't, it does charge you, so be wary. I wonder if it will charge me for more of these, or like an item that's limited. Would it charge me for that, or would it just say no, you can't place it anymore? Let's see. So I only have one of these. Nope, it just says nope, you don't get to place it. Okay, interesting. Okay, cool. When you run out of an item during placement, you do no need to open the okay, yeah, English is great. Catalog to buy another. Now the items are automatically purchased. Okay, so like I didn't get to that part yet, and I freaked out about it when it happened to me. But yeah, it looks like it just gets refunded if you delete it, and if you place it down, and it buys it automatically, and if you save that and exit the tool, it looks like it just keeps it there. So that's very interesting. Hopefully people don't get like accidentally scammed without realizing, and like they lose money or whatever. You can now have the option to sell your items when the furniture you can now have the option sell your items when the furniture delete mode. You no longer need to go to the dump to sell. Okay, where is that? Is that, wait, so that's in the, sorry, I'm just having a little bit of a hard time following up here. Okay, let's take something I have a lot of, dojo shelf. Okay, if I want to delete it, oh look, there's a C. Okay, sell mode. Boom, I just made money. That's crazy. That's very useful. Better of life update. You can now have the you cannot now modify poster after they have been placed using configure mode. This is huge, guys. Okay, so if you are indecisive about your stuff, or you just want to change the way your house looks, because some of the stuff like let's say you already had, well, here, I'll give a better example of this. So first off, you can directly click on this and click a texture and you get it, right? Whatever. But let's say I already had stuff placed down, like over here, and I was like, well, I want this dresser to look different. Well, you can click on it now and literally just make it a different dresser. Do I have another dresser? I actually don't know. Do I have another dresser? I have this. Holy crap, that's big. Oh, that's better. But yeah, you can now just change this stuff, which is really, really cool. Option windows no longer appear when you place configurable items. You now need to use configure mode wrench icon to modify things like posters, music players, and clothing displays. And this makes sense, right? There is still an E on some objects, like the mannequin head or accessory head. Just letting you guys know. I'm not sure how far this has come yet. More options appear on the popular images and music sort. So I'm assuming that means more decals just show up for people to use, which is great. You can now paint every part of a piece of furniture at once with fill mode. Good for those hard to paint parts of the furniture. Well, unless that furniture has a texture on it, or something is seriously bugged out with it, because there's an object I know that isn't just hard to color, but simply can't be colored, and it's this one, the one that will never get used unless it's changed. If I put fill mode on, as you can see, it gets filled, except for the bottom, which is still red, and it will be that way until it's fixed forever and ever and ever. Ooh, wait, this is something. This one would be pretty big deal. Hold on. Oh no, this one's still bugged too. Guys, chat, we still can't color this one. Yikes. New paint dropper tool that allows you to get the material and the color of any part. Yeah, I already explained that. Action buttons don't appear on furniture while placing furniture or painting. That's great, so you don't accidentally like color other stuff. Dead zones where furniture can't be placed for no good reason. They've been fixed. And by this, he means this area over here, which I probably have covered up because it was a dead zone before. But what this means is I should be able to place my poster this way, and it should allow me to do it and not say I can't do it. So let's see if that's true. Oh my gosh, guys, we did it. We did it. You can place posters this way now. They let you do it. It's crazy. Console players can now change paint colors and select drop down menus. Great for console players. Fixed bug where console players couldn't select a mailbox or decal. Again, big up console players. They're getting fixes. Bundle items no longer appear at the dump.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it, besides the Halloween update, which I'll go over in a separate video, because might as well. Now, I would appreciate if you guys gave me some time here to work with this a little bit more. Obviously, it's very new to me, as it's very new to you guys. I do think I understand the general concept of how everything works. This is going to be making, this is going to make the build ideas videos, you know, be a lot more intricate. However, there's a big problem right now, which I don't think has been addressed. Hide mode doesn't work. And what this means now is that you can't get things to be specifically aligned. How do I explain this? If I wanted this thing to be in here, if I wanted this one stud in this way at an upper angle area, I'd have to rebound off of this using hide mode, right? So it's just, I don't know, it might still be possible, and I don't feel like explaining it right now too much, but basically I'm gonna try and get this object where I want it in my head. But it seems like rebounding is going to be an extremely difficult thing to do, and rebounding is simply like getting things specifically where you want it, using rebounding methods. Although it seems like things can collide with each other a lot easier. I don't know. Maybe it's possible still, and maybe it isn't going to be such a hard thing to do and a big deal, but I have a feeling that the days of super accurate alignments as far as like the way things used to be built are no longer going to be possible. Like the DeLorean back here, I'm not sure that this is going to be possible to make exactly like this anymore. I think you could be able to, like, I might be able to make another car or whatever, but I don't think that the way this was built is going to be the same anymore. So it'll be interesting. I'm not too sure what the future holds yet, because I tried making this pillar right here with the dojo shelves and it wasn't working because he changed the way the building works, so you can't just place dojo shelves on each other anymore. The snapping works a little differently because since it's more free, it makes it a lot harder to line stuff up, if that makes sense. Again, it's a little niche and it's gonna be hard to figure out exactly what the balance is here, right? But yeah, overall, amazing, and I can't wait to test it out, can't wait to make new videos, and I still got the Halloween video coming out for you guys, so just hang in there. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.
I got it cool.